Hello, my name is Max Gifford, and I am going to be talking about why the US should defund police departments across the United States and significantly defund the police pay and reallocate some funding to better support the public and the public's needs. One of my main ideas about why policing at this time is corrupt and why it is bad is because it has foundations in what our country used to have in the 1800s as a slave patrol, which was used to control the large slave populations in the South, and specifically in North Carolina was where this was created, where there was an officer and public servants that would actually benefit the white people so they could control the slaves and go catch runaway slaves and stuff of that sort. And so that goes to show that our policing system has not been revamped for probably close to 200 years. It is evolved, but it has evolved from the wrong place. So that can be that can come out in different ways that harms certain populations, like the black population. And I think we just need to devote ourselves to repair that misconnection. There is also a lack in police oversight, like the overseeing of police activities and what individual officers do behind closed doors, or when no one's watching, or when they do things they think they can get away with, or they take the law into their own hands. And basically, we are too trusting as a society by giving the same person with a gun and the institutional power that they are backed by. We give them the ability to interpret the law, and sometimes they make costly mistakes. So overall, we are too trusting as a society by handing all of this power, all of this firepower even, to officers, and they don't have any sort of oversight in the moment. We trust them 100% to take care of things, which, for the most part, police are here to protect us. But when they don't have oversight and the wrong officer makes the wrong decision, it is very costly. And so if we can redistribute some funds and maybe have someone watching a live body cam footage, or just have body cam footage for police officers that is up for review, that might keep them more accountable and make them feel like they have police oversight. So I think that is something that could be very beneficial if we have the funding for it. Also, on the same note of having police have too much power, they're a little trigger happy. Now, I want to explain a little bit because this might sound kind of weird, but they kind of sometimes can have a competitive outlook in their job when they're there to maybe joke around with their other police friends and kind of have a competitive attitude about who can make the most arrests, who can, have the coolest story or whatever, which might motivate them to do something a little extra, something that might not be totally along the lines of what they should do in following the law. A lot of this also stems from their traumatic training, based on an article called Confessions of a Former Bastard Police. They talked about how their training actually caused them to see the world differently and see people as threats, and always have their guard up, always, be ready to neutralize a threat, which may mean using deadly force or violence. And police also profile, not all of them, but everyone has ingrained biases, and they may profile somebody and think that they are a threat when they, in fact, are just someone that they have a bias against. For instance, the African American population is heavily biased against by police officers and mistreated. So if we can devote more funding into research training, what can benefit our communities, and teach our officers that, and get rid of some old training tactics that we have, we might be able to have a better future for our communities in general with safer police officers. Also, implementing reimagined training of armed officers, like I said, maybe we can give them some more bias training, teach them about the systematic disadvantages that certain populations face and certain communities that police are going to have to be working in. It would be important for them to be aware of the systematic disadvantages that the people that they're working with face. So it can help them have more empathy and help to lead to less violence and leads to less crimes, because when police treat people with more respect and with more humility, then people receive that, and there's less hatred towards the police, and that in turn can lower crime rates. So by saying that, I think it's just important that police can understand the oppressive cycle that they engage in, and if we can teach about that, then we can end the oppressive cycle. And usually I think bias training should be relatively little cost, because the research is already out there. We just need to implement it in to police training programs. Some new positions and funding plans for the public to help the public's needs could be addressing the root causes of crime by implementing support to underserved communities, like these predominantly the communities with a predominant minority population. We can help provide provide healthcare in areas with lack of healthcare, lack of mental health and addiction treatment. We can implement affordable housing and social economic equality. We can try and put in social programs to advance the livelihood of people in these communities, and in that in turn can lower crime rates, because when people are in less desperate situations, they tend to make more responsible decisions. And this can be funded by the reallocation of funds from police officers, and also, instead of only having police officers, we can add more specialized agents of the law, like psychiatrists and mental health professionals, and more public support, who will be able to better address all of the needs of the public, rather than sending one armed police officer to a scene that they might not be able to fully handle correctly. And some of the benefits of this are we allow communities to make decisions for themselves and about what's best to heal, and they get to make the decisions about how they would like to start healing, how the communities, what resources they might need, and start to put the power back in the communities for public support. And it's not the same as policing, but it will be a greater support system for the community, and hopefully that will attack the root causes of crime.